direct from Albany, New York, it's time for the Media Zone with your hosts, Ed and Dave. Tonight, a look at this week's new film and DVD releases. And the chance to win free movie tickets with the Poster Pairs game. And now your hosts, Ed and Dave.
Hello and welcome to the Media Zone. And Dave here, Ed and Dave with you. Another exciting edition of the Media Zone. Lots of fun looking at the movies and DVDs that are coming out this week.
And no microphone for Ed. Let's start. Hello and welcome to the Media Zone. Ed and Dave with you.
I hope you could hear my intro from the floor.
From the floor.
Where my microphone was.
Lots of fun and frivolity. Giving away tickets, hopefully.
You know, we were just bringing in our special guest. That's why I had to get up. Not Lilac, right, who's sitting.
The one. I'm not the special guest.
The special.
Anymore.
She's not special guest.
She's
anymore.
special, but not the one we had to drag in.
Oh,
there he is. Tom is back on the set.
And that lighting, he looks pretty good. And when we walk over to look at him, it looks pretty crappy.
Well,
that's from his age.
He's being restored right now.
That's right.
We didn't have time to do a lot of work. We did a little painting touch-ups. Mm-hmm.
You hear him?
We used two cans of WD-40 on him.
Okay, if you can hear him now, you should have heard him earlier. That was one creaking Kong.
Creaking wood. But there he is, provided by the House of Frankenstein to the Media Zone.
Yep.
We want to thank them for thinking of us, and they'll be opening soon.
About 2 weeks, actually.
Right.
They'll be opening up House of Frankenstein and Dr. Morbid's Haunted House.
Dr. Morbid. See how I said that right
That's
off
right.
the bat with my little notes here?
That's right. So they'll be opening up soon. There's a little attraction for you when you head up to historic Lake George and you want to go on the Mohegan or the mini ha-ha.
Yeah, don't go that weekend. They got all the motorcycles up there, though. You got to check that webpage to see what's going on. Because there was the winter carnival when we went up. Of course, without the snow, there wasn't much of a carnival going on.
Yeah, what happened with that since there was no snow? I was wondering that.
Well, the highlight of the carnival was somebody was driving a bunch of kids down the sidewalk in a tractor. That was the extent of the carnival. And apparently the boobs were jumping into the water in their Speedos
The
again.
Polar Bear Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They jump in real quick, get the hell out.
They still did that.
You never did that, did you?
No. I think you can do that like right after New Year's, like Eve too. A bunch of the people that are hungover and drunk jump in the next day.
But that's not a good combination though, to be hungover and then decide to jump into a almost frozen lake.
It wakes you up.
Wakes you up.
We should do that next year.
Yeah. Give you a little Speedo.
I'll break out my Speedo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either that or the Santa Claus run on Mark Street.
You can't wait to see that, can you?
Oh, God.
I'll be there. I'll be rooting for you.
You can't really see my Speedo because my stomach hangs over it.
Oh, God. We'll be in shape by then, though.
Will we?
We'll train for the intensive training.
You might see the Speedo sticking out of the crack in my buttocks, but that's about it.
All right, we have our films here. We didn't say what they were yet.
No, we didn't. Titanic in 3D.
Yeah. Oh, my God. An American Reunion. I'm trying to think. Titanic was 97 or so.
I think it was 97.
Were you one of the little teenage girls going to see Titanic?
Oh my God, I went and watched it twice.
Yeah.
I cried both times.
Oh.
But I'm not going to go watch it in 3D. I'm not going to lie about it.
No, I don't know how some people are going to sit there for 3 hours with those glasses on. The picture is darker. It's not that much. If George Lucas can't make that 3D work, I don't know if James Cameron is going to do it.
James Cameron is a superior filmmaker at it.
Is he? He did do that Avatar, but that was shot in 3D. It's a big difference.
True, you're correct.
Right.
Oh, we shut down Kong? I wanted to do... I wanted to talk about Kong.
He can come back at any moment, Dave. Look at that.
He did that by himself?
Yeah.
Doesn't he remind you though
Freaking me out.
of the Dino De Laurentiis Kong from '76?
Right.
Remember didn't they build one that was like 50 feet tall?
The whole promotion on that King Kong was they had a mechanical King Kong. And if it was in there for all of 5 seconds, that was a lot.
Right. You know, I can do an impression of that.
Why don't you do your impression?
I want to stand next to the Kong and do my impression of the 50-foot Dino De Laurentiis built Kong.
Poor Rick Baker, who was in most of the film, got credit squeezed into the back there.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
You're moving. You're giving it too much credit there.
Am I? Try again.
It was holding 2 pieces of the cage, and I think the fingers sort of let it drop. It was shown in the cage for a few seconds, and then they cut to it, and they had Rick Baker in the monkey suit holding on to it, and then they cut a little further back, and this giant mechanical thing let the pieces go. For $1 million they spent on that. Yep. And it wasn't even put together half as good as this one, Dave.
Probably not.
You've never seen the '76 King Kong?
No, but it sounds like it was a really good investment.
It was. It was very campy.
It was a great investment for Petrox.
Worth that
Superpower.
money. Worth it.
Of course, that was Jessica Lange's first film.
She played Dwan.
Right.
Dwan. It's not Dawn, it's Dwan.
She changed the names to make it more memorable as she was going into the adult film biz, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Shall we roll into our films?
Let's get into the films.
Let's go into Titanic, 3D. I really don't have much to say about this. It's the same movie as it was in '97, except now it's in 3D. But we all know who's in it. DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, Billy Zane, Kathy Bates. Written and directed by Cameron, second highest grossest film of all time. One of only 3 pictures to receive a record 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, blah, 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 blah. DiCaprio, Winslet,
making short work of the read I put together there.
You really want me to read it?
No.
Doomed luxuries line collides an iceberg, frigid North Atlantic sinks, people die. There you go.
I remember I wasn't thrilled to go see it, but I figured I had to. It was a big film at the time. I didn't want to go sit in a theater for 3 hours.
And did you enjoy the film and love it?
I did like the film.
Did you? Because I saw it on television. And it was not with commercials, which I guess would be, no commercial interruptions would be the official term. And I wasn't as enamored. I guess I was expecting far more, because when people build up a film and 11 Academy Awards, great film, blah blah, I expect more. I have high expectations, and sometimes my expectations just are too much.
Well, the first hour and a half was the build-up and the love story, and then the second hour and a half was the sinking of the Titanic. When the effects were all good, and you weren't disappointed with the sinking part, were you? Or maybe you were disappointed with Jack floating on. Why couldn't Jack survive? He was on the piece of wood.
It's like the big question that still goes on to this day.
It seems like he was all right there.
Because, Ed, that would be...
Or they were both trying to get on the wood, and he couldn't stay on for some reason.
They couldn't switch? They couldn't be like, oh...
Yeah. Switch it off.
Wouldn't that make it too contrived an ending, though? If they live... Wouldn't you want one of them to die for more realistic filmmaking?
I'd like it explained a little better, why they couldn't both fit on the wood.
He died really fast.
Yeah,
Just like sunk, and that was it.
Water was cold.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. I always wondered that myself too. Like, couldn't he just done something, swam over, found something to lay on, and then? But you're right. Maybe the realism of him dying.
I'm sick of films with happy endings, Ed. I want realism.
Yeah.
People die. It happens. Big ships sink, off the coast of Italy.
Anybody thinking about going on a cruise after all these?
We're gonna make a movie out of that one too.
Cruises are...
That thing's just been sitting there on its side for months. I mean,
leave it there.
What's funny is they're doing the news stories, and they've got the reporter standing there, and in the back is the ship just listed over on its side, just there, right off the coast.
Well, there's
Where's
another
he
one
going?
from the same cruise line
Yeah.
had trouble.
Yeah. Don't go cruising.
Aren't the cruises bad enough? I know people love these cruises, but the thought of being packed onto a ship with these big tubs of lard, feeding every 30 minutes, they're constantly feeding these people. The ship weighs 500 more pounds
Right.
coming back than it went. I don't know.
And you're out there with the Somalian pirates taking over, and you're out there in international waters.
Yeah.
You don't know what can go on there. American law doesn't count, so anything can happen there.
No, I'm not a big fan of cruises.
Go down to Disneyland.
The mini ha-has hour voyage was too long for me.